Bhakti is also here. Hare Krishna. You were in the garden? No? Yes? Ah. It's going nicely, everything. Chaitanya. Yes. You want to hear some more intimate topic, or you have some question about doubts, comments? Nothing of all. Then is it okay? We read about Vaishnava Dharma, means the duty of Vaishnava, or the religion of the Vaishnavas. It is duty, actually, is Dharma, our eternal duty is meant. Sanatana Dharma, there's one movement. Eternal duty or eternal religion. We can also call it like this. So sannyas is the highest order in the varnashram system. So there's a system of varnas and ashramas in the Vedic society. It has perverted in Kali Yuga now. So it is not anymore practical. It is not, they are not living according to Varnashram. The Varnashram means ashram means in the first years we are here coming to this world up to 20-25. It is like brahmachari. One should be unmarried, one should learn about the rules of this world. Then the next is householder life, means grihastha. Then after grihastha, up to 50, 60 years, not after, up to 70 years. In the Varnashram Dharma it was like up to 50, 60 years. Then one slowly turns to renounce all these worldly activities. One prepares for the next life. So the last one is sannyas. Sannyas means that one has given up family life, one has given up all social connection. One lives practically renounces all material kind of enjoyments and prepares for the next life. Vana means that one is beginning with Shudra. Shudra means that one is very simple-minded. One is serving the higher caste. And one is happy in this situation. This is nowadays in Kali Yuga not everybody wants to be a ruler. Everyone is... So this is also in India. That's because it is not practiced anymore. Then Shudra, then the next is Vaishya. Vaishya means those who are making business, or the farmers, those who are caring for the making business. And then there are the Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas means that this is the class of the rulers. Means the kings, the soldiers, they're very bold and very have this mentality of ruling others. And the highest is Brahmanas. This is the caste of the learned Brahmanas who live in a mode of goodness, who are giving advice to the kings and the rulers of this world, the Kshatriyas. So they are both this. So sannyas is the highest order in the Varnashrama system. And Varnashrama is a step towards Vaishnava Dharma. It is utilized as a favorable step. We may begin from Varnashrama Dharma, but we are to leave that when we enter the domain of Nirguna, Varnashram is concerned with Shatraguna. Nirguna, we enter the domain of Nirguna, means gunas means the moods everybody has. Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Brahmana. This is different moods of different qualities of the human beings develop according to their qualifications. They are called like this. This would be real Varnashram. Nowadays, everybody thinks who is born in Brahman family that he is a Brahmana. This is Kali Yuga. And they come to the West and work in McDonald's. This is not Brahman qualities. This is Dhammaguna. So they have not the qualities anymore. And this was never meant like this. If you're born in Brahman family, usually they were raised in a mode of goodness, Shatraguna. So Nirguna Varnashram is concerned with Shatraguna, means it is very pure life. One lives, one never harms others, and one is very learned and develops spiritual understanding. So because of our karma, our activities, our attention is there. Jnana means our acquisition. When one lives true to their own greed and surrenders under a complete dedicated life, then it becomes Vaishnavism. So when one is not identifying anymore with any mundane conception in this material world, because of our karma, our attention is there. Jnana means our acquisition. Jnana means knowledge. When one lives true to their own greed and surrenders under a complete dedicated life, then it becomes Vaishnavism. So that means he is outside of this Varna and Ashram system. He is not member of it. He gives up the duties he has in his varnas or ashramas. One has to leave their past life. If all karma is done only for the satisfaction of Krishna, then it is all well and good. That is Vaishnavism. So when all activities we do is to satisfy the Supreme Lord, then he is out of these systems, what we identify here in this material world. I am this, I am that. This is, he's giving up. This is Vaishnavism. When all inquiry is serious and surrendered to the sweet will of Krishna, one enters the realm of Vaishnavism. So it means this is a kind of surrender, or one accepts everything as it comes, because it is the understanding is there. Nothing moves in this material world without the will of Supreme Lord. This is not for our atheistic society nowadays. They cannot accept it. That's because they're fighting always. Because they're not understanding whatever happened, whatever, it is not under our control. We cannot. It is the sweet will of Krishna. So one enters the realm of Vaishnavism, and then yoga, the direction of our energy, stops seeking any other achievement that is concentrated wholly for the satisfaction of Krishna. Then it enters the area of Vaishnavism. So it means Vaishnavism is something very high. We may call many of devotees, may call them Vaishnavas, but these are very high position, Vaishnavism. In another sense, we are all Vaishnavas, because we are coming from Vishnu, Vaishnavas. So originally we are all come from him. But we have forgotten where we are coming from and who is the creator, who is the maintainer, and who is the controller, and who is the enjoyer of everything. Bhakti mukha nirikshaka karma yoga jnana. Without bhakti, karma, jnana and yoga cannot succeed. So bhakti must be always there. Bhakti means devotion or surrender. Karma cannot, karma means activities, jnana means knowledge, and yoga means the process of attaining higher power, mystic power. They promise results without the help of Bhakti, without the support of the aid of the universal wave or force. So if God withdraws all his energy from them to support, then they are nowhere. They are powerless and can only give their suggestion, just like so many campaigns. In different campaigns, such as insurance company, a banking company, etc. If the government does not withdraw its support from them, they can work. But if the government withdraws, they cannot exist. They can thrive, they can work well with the passive support of the government. But if the government withdraws, they are nowhere. So every position one has in this material world, one has to understand, is supported by Supreme Lord. Even the demons, even those who are, like in the past we had so many in the Second World War, the leaders of Germany or the Russian leaders, they were doing very cruel things, fighting, creating war and so forth. Not only there, they are everywhere in the world. But they are supported also by Supreme Lord. They have their duty. They are just like puppets. This we cannot accept like this in the material plane. So that's because we have created situation through our acting in the past or in the present, and we have to harvest the fruits. Means this is the law of karma. We have done many bad things or good things, and we will get the result of this. In this material world, this is the law of this material world. That's because you cannot kill the material world. You cannot kill the planet Earth. You think you're more powerful than the creator of this. The only losers are we. We are the losers. So don't think if you're, well, sometimes I may create some enemies with this saying, that if you think we can stop it by stopping to drive cars or drive slowly, or there are so many things. All these things cannot be done independent from the Supreme Lord. This is His will, everything. And we can also not kill the world. And if it should be like this, then we cannot do anything against it. This we have to understand. If you not understand, you will see the reality. What we want to do against the earthquake, what we should do against flood, what you will do against epidemic. And so it is just a play, We have to, everybody has to die, so it is not in our hand. We cannot control it. We think we can, but this is like children playing, But nobody can control this in this plane, in this world. Bhakti Mukha Nirikshaka Karma Yoga Jnana Karma are always looking at the face of bhakti service to Krishna. What they give is a very negligible thing. Our bhakti, our service does not depend on anything else. It can go independently from any point of our life. Only with the connection of a bona fide agent can we link with bhakti. We can go on independently without taking any help from the energy. Everything may be rejected, and only through service to a sadhu, a saint, can one go on safely towards bhakti. So Varnashram or Sanatana Dharma generally means Varnashram, orders of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. The qualification of the Brahmana, the highest section, is that they seek something which is not mundane, which is conscious. Generally, they do not have any clear conception of the conscious world, and only some vague conception of the spiritual world. So, Brahmanam Sapashrevya Satvajati Vishishyate refers to one who is engaged in sacrifice, meaning the model, the standard, that everything should be done to satisfy him, the eternal truth. Krishna Satyaji Sahasrebhya Sarvananda Bharga. Then it may come to the stage of inquiry, of an inquirer. Vedanta who loves to deal with consciousness, with fine things. Sarvavedantavit Kotya Vishnu Bhakto Vasishyate. There the yogi and the jnani are like the karmi. They are not dealing with gross things, but they are busy in their dealings with the very subtle things of consciousness. So this is what is completely lost nowadays. Not completely, but almost lost. In Kali Yuga, there is not any. It's degrading now, even. When I came first time to India, they had this bower. I was living with those kind of yogis who were dealing with the subtle matter, who had very much bowers. And I wanted to know if this is truth, what I was reading in the books, in the Bhagavad Gita. So it was arranged like this, so I could see, yes, there's much more important things than what we are thinking, what is important in this world. If you look nowadays, what is important, how the language, how they call it, gender. What nonsense. I mean, to just deal with each other, You have to, they make it so complicated. It is all external things, This is not allowing us to go to understand consciousness. They should teach, they should learn, they should understand. Consciousness is eternal. Consciousness cannot be killed. We are conscious beings. We should not identify with anything in this external world, because this is only temporary situation where we are in now. It may happen something and it may go. Don't think that if the planet is destroyed, that the people will not take birth anymore in the future. They have to receive their karma, and everything, they will start again. This planet, this universe, or there are millions of universes, billions of universes. So in one of the universe we will come again in a different form and have to enjoy our karma or suffer our bad activities, what we did in this lifetime. This is the law. This is much more subtle, on a subtle plane, not externally. This is, we are blind. For this science we are blind. So brahmanas are supposed to cultivate this kind of consciousness, or conscious thinking and dealing. Busy in their dealings with the very subtle things of consciousness. They are not dealing with gross things. So this is a difference, and this is something what is unknown in the Western world, unfortunately. Also now it gets lost, even in those countries where still there is, but they are not, we cannot meet such people very easily, such persons. They are still there. And if we would understand the whole thing, then we would also understand that their power is much bigger than any power of any country of this world or any leader of this world. But they are not mixing, they are accepting. They are not want to save the world. They want to save the consciousness of the living beings, to understand whatever we experience in this material world is self-made. We are the source. Every individual has to go through has to suffer the result of his past activities. And we have to accept. Vaishnava means someone who understands, yes, things will happen. I cannot change it. If the Lord, His will, He is not personally engaged in such thing. He has His expansions, those who understand how this world is functioning. That's because they are worshipping demigods. They are responsible for different departments in this material world. But mere consciousness does not mean God consciousness. There is consciousness of the self, consciousness of the cause of this material world, and consciousness of so many things. So Brahmana, who are the head of the Varnashram, are more addicted to spirit than matter. But they have not understood the complete ideal of spiritual world. The purely spiritual world of Vaikuntha or Goloka, in regard to the jnanis. Jnanis are those who are looking for signs. Similarly, like our scientists in this material world, but they are very low class. They want to They are only on the external plane. They are not looking deeper. They cannot understand the source of everything. Is there any question or any comments on this topic? Yes.
If I have a question, the demigods and the demons, do they also have their free will? Or
Do they also?
have their free will?
Yes, of course, every living being. Every conscious living being has free will to do what he thinks is good or bad. But in this material world are those who are bad. Means nobody comes to this world where you meet death, disease, old age, and birth again. This is a circle we are in. So it is necessary for those who are only conscious of the external plane. What was exactly there?
If the demigods and the demons, they have also their free will, like humans.
Yes, but they are much qualified. They have understood how the things is working. It's just like an example. The material world, we are only looking what happened in this world externally. But we do not understand that this comes from the individual, every individual, the mind is above. It means first I have to have the desire to do something. And then it manifests in a cause plane. Like I want to fight against Ukraine, I want to take it because something like this, it's happened everywhere in this world. Between the individuals also the same thing. They have the free will, a tiny free will. They are not they cannot decide to get out from this circle of birth and death by their will. That is necessary, but it will not go in a moment. It is possible also, but one thing is possible, but it's very hard because it can take many births. Because we are very fixed in this material world. It is the only thing what is important. So the free will is given, and those who are demigods take the position of demigods. They are also individuals with free will, but their free will or their consciousness or their subtle understanding is much more high or much more. Like if you can control the mind, you can control the whole universe. It is said like this. Or you can control. I have seen in India, the yogis, they can control all the mind, they know. They know this art, but we have no idea, we do not know. We think this is because we are in ignorance. This is tamaguna, very black. Everything is dark in Kali Yuga. We are not understand the subtle things. So all these demigods, like they are expansion of the Lord also. We are also expansion, but we decided to be separated from the original. So it was our desire. So, and not everybody becomes a human, or there are so many who become animals or trees. Their free decision, free will is very reduced. If you take bird as an animal, you have no intellect to understand what is spiritual life. But still they have sometimes more brain or more subtle understanding than humans. But even this is not known to the society. A dog, he knows sometimes when something happens with his, with the master of the dog. Or he's coming back in the evening, and he knows already minutes or before, and he stands on the door, or he's already becomes nervous and runs there, that somebody coming. So they have more subtle understanding, but they have not, the intellect is not so developed that they understand. For them it's normal. We can learn from everyone. Our senses are very reduced. Our sense, we have only this material sense: touch, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and bodily conception. This, we think this is all. And you see, when you look from a neutral point, you see how people are now trying to, or cultivating this bodily conception. It is terrible. It's heavy. It's nothing natural anymore. It's just this is called Maya. This what is not the real thing. It is called illusion. We have forgotten all these things. So Mahaprabhu mercifully came. The Lord himself appears from time to time. And as is said in Bhagavad Gita, whenever irreligion takes over, he will appear and he will create situations like wars or pandemic, or to get rid of this demoniac way of thinking, because it will, and he will install dharma, or the real duty or religion again. So you can check, you can come many times and you can watch it. It will change. It is like a circle. Like after Second World War, everybody was thinking, no war anymore. But the next generation, or the others, we are the third, you are the third generation after this, I think. They again start. It is coming because Because this is a karma, because we are doing things that should not be done. We are acting sinful, and you have to get the results for our activities. It will happen if we want or not. No vaccination will help you. No police, no mother, no father, no money. Now it's in Italy, this very rich man. What is it? He was there. Berlusconi, something like, yeah. What? He is also not getting older than normal people. But we do not know why he could act like this, but people, or Stalin, or all this great thing, German man, they all acted under higher control. Because if only individual, it would be only individual demon, then it would not be able to. But it was the plan of Lord. Now, it's going on in this circle. It goes on because people are greedy. People exploit others. Greed, and they kill others just for their personal satisfaction. So what do you expect? What you can expect? You think you can go on like this? These so-called rich men now, and in the future they may be a dog or any. They have to go, so many birds to suffer for this. To become a dog nowadays means it's almost higher than a human, because they get feed, they get their stool is cared for nicely, and they have their own chauffeur, the dog sitting in the back and enjoying. In the Western world. When I come to India, I was shocked. They're kicking their dogs. They was not allowed to go in house. They are not allowed to come near the temple or going in the temple. Then they told me, why you kick the dogs? In fact, because all the Englishmen who came here and did so much harm to us in India. They're taking now bird as a dog here. So we kick them. We give them back. It could be like this, nobody can prove, at least not the materialist. They cannot understand. But all this philosophically, when you understand this, how it works, how this world is working, you must come to this, because everything becomes logical. Everything becomes clear. Why things happen? Because there must be a source. Why this universe is existing? Because the Lord wants. He is the only enjoyer. He expands into many, and He is the enjoyer of everything, not we. If you want to be the enjoyer, then you come here and then you die. And if He's merciful, you will never be the enjoyer. You will understand. So we have to close now. Is something more to say? Jai Srila Srila Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nittai Gaur Premanandi Vansakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Yevacha Pajitanam Bhavani